Stop trying. The more you try, the more resistance you put into the outcome. So just do what you want to do and just be who you want to be, you know? And when you strive for something, you have to be aware of the attitude and the intention behind your actions. They are so crucial and they infuse everything you do. So, at least to my current level of consciousness, the best I could come up with is striving towards an outcome without being attached to attain it. So being fine with both achieving it and not achieving it, having it and not having it. That's how we actually receive it in the end. But it is like a condition, because when you are embodying that attitude in order to get it in the end, then it's not really being detached, you know? It's just like you try to manipulate the energy dynamics between you and your goals. So you really have to get to a point where you truly are fine with not having it. Trusting the universe wholeheartedly is important as well. Know that it works in your best interest, and even though we experience something very painful, we are aware that there is something to learn for us, you know? That really can make the difference when we can find a reason, when we can find a purpose why these things happen to us, you know? It just changes the situation from being something that is barely manageable and very hard to handle compared to a situation that is complete hell, where is no sense of silver lining in the end, in the horizon. Believe there is a greater purpose for you here, which is going to reveal itself when you just keep going and keep looking for it. And if you are looking for it, and if you want to catch these kind of informations, know that it's very possible for you. Know that you can, you know, but it really depends on if you want to catch them and if you're open to it, you know? Because your antenna can be dulled down, or they can be open for receiving things. And when you do receive these unique informations and you share it with the world, it's such a beautiful gift to humanity, because your way of seeing things is unique. And it's an important contribution that would be missing if you actually don't do it. So trust to be the channel. Channel the things that are important to you and what you believe. So trust to be the channel and channel the things that you believe are important for the world right now, you know? And then you become like this vessel for something greater, for an idea, for example. Like Swiss psychiatrist C.G. Jung said, people don't have ideas, ideas have people. And the more permeable you are, the more you can receive. But at first you have to conquer your ego, because your ego is very loud and it's in the way of perceiving those very subtle, free-flying bits of information. So your ego, yes, sure, it has your best interests in mind, but it's like your best friend with the worst advice, you know? Like a very stupid friend who really loves you, but his advice would just destroy you if you would listen to it. That's your ego. The way how we deal with the ego is to put it in its place. You know, it derives from the intellect, the universal pattern of the logos, the rational mind. So it's a male principle, and we have to conquer it with male dominant force. Okay, we have to be hard to our ego and not let it run crazy, because if we're not cautious, that can happen very quickly. The opposite are your emotions, and those you handle the exact opposite way. They derive from the feminine, the divine pattern of creation. So our emotions we should approach in a very soft way. You know, we should allow them to flow through our body. Even the word emotion stands for energy in motion. And that's why we have to allow it to keep flowing and be in motion. Because otherwise, if we suppress it, we keep this in our lower midsection and it stays there. And from there on, it just, you know, toxifies our whole system. So many diseases and so many sicknesses are the manifestation of suppressed emotions. I would say most of them, actually. So if you want to know who you are, you at first have to understand how you are functioning. So I personally am into Jungian teachings, you know, analytic psychology. But, you know, there are many and different ways and healthy ways how we can conceive our reality. And there are other ways that maybe work better for you, but it's important to find some way that, you know, that works for you and that is in alignment with you, so you stop self-sabotaging yourself all the time. Releasing the baggage and forgiving ourselves is often the answer, you know. We have to get out of those low frequency places because they just attract so much negative stuff in our life that we just don't want to have there. It is just defining our life quality. So raise your consciousness and make your unconscious conscious. So it's not controlling you any longer and you can live your life on your own terms, you know. It's that simple. And raising our consciousness oftentimes is connected with letting go, because the more we let go, the more we can receive. And yeah, that's what I said earlier, it's about being permeable. And when we manage to be permeable, we really have like a cheat code for life, because in every situation, in every conversation, we receive impulses that are coming from a much greater place than our very limited mind. In that state of awareness, you can decide to do and to be whoever you want. By embodying this new identity, the whole structure of reality shifts around you and your new aim, you know. But you have to be solid and you have to stay on track, because those things don't happen too quickly. So you cannot change your identity every other week, you know. The universe has to see that you're serious. And you have to know that you're serious, because when you trust yourself and you know where you want to go, where you're heading, you have a complete different aura, let's say. It's very important that we keep a kind of spiritual hygiene in order for us to stay focused and to keep our vibrations high. So I personally am a huge fan of gratitude, of affirmations, of meditations, and yeah, everything that's changing your state. Breath work works too. And then maybe you have a little bit to check where you are. You know, if you are constantly very much tuned into other people, you know, you're more in your higher chakras, that means you have to ground yourself more. And that could, for example, mean work out. You know, but work out hard and not do yoga, because yoga can be much more up here as well. And the other way around, same, yeah. If you're very grounded, maybe you have to expand a little bit. So to get back to the point, to manage to strive towards something without attaching to the outcome, we have to be as empty and as permeable as possible. Because our ego will make us act out of desire if we're not cautious, and we have to consciously conquer it. So we really have to stop trying and be in a kind of neutral state, you know. We shouldn't be in disbelief of attaining the goal, but we shouldn't put it on a pedestal either, you know. We have to be fine with either having it or not having it. So just do the work, be in the moment, and enjoy the present. That's as good as it gets. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.